I think the Rari go faster without the roof. Chill.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. It's a rivalry that dates back to 1921. The Packers and Bears are underway from Chicago. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so. Try and sneak it here. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. He'll wind up getting two there as he does it himself and picks up the first. A first down carry by Elliott. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. Now they'll give it to the first option. That's their fullback. And he's going to be met at about the 43. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now.
Let's run, baby. Let's run. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
From the gun, Jackson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Rodgers going to throw. High throw, but he makes the catch. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully. Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively. And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
319!
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football. Jones. A broken tackle on the run, and then just on the other side of midfield, they get to it. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets them to 3rd and 3 now. Now Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground. Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball? Absolutely. You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. They go play action here on 1st down. Going for it all. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how. Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there. These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face. A little wind in there. Yeah, that's right.
Watch him now, Barney!
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's got some space here. Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Chicago! Ezekiel Elliott, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point good by Catanzaro. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll run it with Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Right now, you got 58.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here comes the boom. I see you, boy. I see you. Hey, let's go. Come on.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jordan. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Rodgers to throw once more. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Over here.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
To throw on 3rd down, Rodgers. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet, they're going to go for it on fourth. They'll go with Jones. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Bears will get the football back. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They start on the ground with Elliott. Finding some room at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you get the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Past the 20. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. This is first and goal from about the 8. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll come out in the pistol. Here's Elliott. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
Now I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The give is to Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Over!
On second down, here's Jackson. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Over.
Jackson from the shotgun. Forced out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Nick Perry. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. He'll get it up the middle. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. And the lead will grow by one more. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now the Packers get set to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On second down, here's Rodgers. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe you want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. A give to Elliott, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7.
Inside.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
On 2nd down, Jackson out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 3rd down.
Detroit!
From the gun, it's Jackson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. On play action, Rodgers. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up and making sure.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
No, check, Patriot!
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And not much running room. Down to the 32. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Detroit!
Here's Jackson to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It's a quarterback sneak. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Lamar Jackson scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And his kick is good. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run it.
He's got it at the 15. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 63 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Got a man open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. Over.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Room to run past midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's Detroit, 1st and 10.
Detroit.
Jackson on 1st down. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Second and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. He's going to float this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. The Bears on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
From the gun, Jackson steps away to his left. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. This is Elliott. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Frank Clark in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you off sides. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And he's going to go down again.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. He finds his target. It's Crowder. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this.
Over here. Box it.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And this will be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Green 19th and on it.
They go play action here on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 41 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. Perry, the return. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Watch it now, Barney.
Here's Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game. They want to keep it going.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Over! Detroit!
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. And now the Packers going to take another timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a gain of 8 there, and that should be enough to seal the victory.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll run with Elliott. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Leopard!
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Bears, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.